Potomac. And in Potomac, like, why not? Why can't we make affordable housing available in those areas where they, I'll leave it there.
Yeah. I think that's just a whole nother topic when you start talking about affordable housing. It's, you can look at it in so many different ways.
The question that comes up, when we talk about all these different entities, or everybody who's involved. So you all are kind of at the point where you're kind of trying to convey information to your clients and things like that. But I'm trying to figure out what drives this. That's where we had to get to the end of it. And I'm not saying that we know the answer. It could be a rhetorical question at this point, but we're talking about a lot of it's driven by, the appraisers have a part in some of this too, in terms of, and so who is driving them to either jack up the values of the homes or devalue it? Just, is it the...
She kind of mentioned it. No, it's okay. She kind of mentioned it. It's home sales. So I know she mentioned 6 months, but out here they first focus on the last 90 days of what home sells. And then if they need to go 6 months, still do that as well. But it depends on what houses sell for. So they look for houses that's comparable to whatever house is being sold. So like she said, if someone comes in and they're ready to sell for whatever reason, it could be a divorce, it could be whatever, they just need to get rid of the house, and the house was worth $600,000 and they sell the house for $500,000, it affects everybody in that neighborhood. It drives down the price for everybody in that neighborhood. And the other thing you have to look at too is lot premium, land value. What's the cost of the land? So depending on what area you're in, will also depict what that house is going to sell for, because they have to purchase that land as well.
Right. So somebody has to, and somebody is determining what the land value is.
Exactly.
Which is, those are the people I want to get to. I want to get at, hey, what are you trying to say? Because, if there's a house that's in you can have a house in a neighborhood that's predominantly white. You can have a one that's in a similar house in a neighborhood that's predominantly black, but they're going to sell. The house itself is going to, could be almost identical. You could put the same house in both places, and it obviously is going to sell differently. And somewhere, the question is going to have to be asked. What's the deal? I mean, this is the exact same house, but I guess they could say, well, this is near this is near that.
Yeah. And that's what they say. It's
not apples and oranges. It's apples and oranges. It's not the same thing. And it's like, it's the same damn house. It's for, it
could be a little different. And some
different neighbors, but it's the same house.
That's huge. Well, different neighbors, but it also is how well maintained the neighborhood is, or what you have to pass through to get to that neighborhood. That also dictates to what the value of the land is. And what the house is going to cost.
Yeah, we're going. I'm going to the big conspiracy theories all the time. So let me drop. Let me get out. I'm like, something's here. Chief, we're going to have to come back on this one. I'm looking at a list of the in terms of gentrification, the fastest gentrifying zip code since the turn of the millennium. And right at the top was. I don't know what that used to be. Is Los Angeles, California?
Okay.
I'm looking at some of the percentage change, and number 2 is Washington D.C.
Wow.
And this is they're going by zip code. So in California, which I have no idea, is 90014, which is Los Angeles. But the home value change is showing 707%.
Wow.
The household income change is 95%, and the higher education change is 857%.
Jeez.
a jump in that. Washington, D.C., Wavitra, you might know this area, 20001. That was number 2. Shows a home value change of 207%. Household income change of 163%. and higher education change of 212%. I mean, and it goes on down. I guess they list about 20 of them. But
can I add
DC,
to that?
another DC zip code.
Sinbad?
Sure.
So here's the thing. And this is I'll be completely honest, since this is straight no chaser. So just like investors look in certain zip codes and they redline, sometimes we need to do that too. Because if we can go into a neighborhood and clean it up and invest in it, because that's pretty much the case. And you could sell it to whoever, but if we put our money together and we go into these neighborhoods and we clean it up and we invest in it, it's going to increase the value as well. It's just that we're not there yet. We were there at one time. I mean, if you think of one of the fluid neighborhoods in the black communities in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? That used to be called the Black Wall Street.
Right.
You had
Black Wall Street, right.
So if you had that same concept today, and people start saying, you know what, I want to invest my money and pick in a community that maybe on the west side, I'm going to be honest, in Las Vegas or whatever, and say, hey, you know what, we're going to go ahead and buy these houses, go ahead and put the upgrades, and we're going to sell and make more money. If more people pick, because that's what they do. They go and start buying houses on the same street. They buy the homeowners out. Right. They buy the houses on the same street. And they fix them up, and so the first time you do that, maybe the first couple houses, you don't get as much bang for your dollar. But when you start buying more and more houses and people see that you're starting to clean it up, people start buying. You can start charging more and start getting more money for that house. So that's how I just feel like as a community, we need to start thinking.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I think we talked about that last time. We talked about buying the block. But just one question that I'll leave out here, maybe for the next time, that as we're talking about affordable housing, is that redlining, or is that might it cause more redlining?
Wow, that's a great thought.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, ladies,
because lots of neighbors don't want affordable housing, but folks don't want redlining either. So, I mean, it's a question to table, because I think it's going to be a big deal as we have more conversations about that.
I agree. Totally agree.
We need a new theme song. We need Fight the Power theme song.
That's right. That's exactly right.
on this, the 30th year anniversary of Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. You know, these folks need to do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
That's right. Do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm getting all hot. Let me get out. I'm going to have to show these got me all hot and bothered out here. I'm all upset. I'm lacing up my boots. I'm going to go march right now.
Get yourself together, Thin Bag. Get yourself together.
Al Sharpton's number. Call Al Sharpton.
That's right. Pull yourself together, Thin Bag.
Oh, okay.
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm gonna have to shut it down. This has been good. We're gonna have to come back and touch on this some more as we kind of watch things through. This has been a great discussion again. It got me all frustrated, but it was good information to have. It's not you all's fault.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna keep you all in prayer, and you keep on doing what you do, and
that's
and
right.
Wishing you all much success, because you and really you are educating folks, and I know that you all do. I can hear the passion in your voices when you talk about it, and so we know you all are doing the right thing, yes. And we want to thank you for doing that. But we've covered a whole bunch of stuff here. Chief, do you have anything else you need to add?
I totally agree with you, Thinbad. And before you take us out, I'd just like for the ladies to give out their contact information so people can get a hold of them, and then you take us out, sir.
This is
all right.
Trina Marie Shaw with Signature Real Estate Group, and you can find me at at Being Trina Marie. My website is trina-marie.com, and my phone number is 702-497-3159.
All right.
In Nevada, Southern Nevada.
All right.
And you can reach me, Wyvitra Jordan. And you can reach me, Wyvitra Jordan, at in the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, at the home team at Exit Landmark Realty. YourNewHome365.com is the website, and 240-678-2640 is the cell, or 301-850-6600. 866-700 is the office number. And I just like to say, just stay in the game.
Yes.
Like, you totally deserve it. Stay in the game. Don't give up. Everyone can be a homeowner. Just get with the right people. And I'm sure, like Trina, I have a ton of lenders that really help people to do this and make it happen.
Absolutely.
And that's great advice. And again, to all of our listeners, please check these ladies out if you have some real estate needs, because at the end of the day, regardless of your background, your religion, your race, whatever it is, buying a home should be an exciting process, and everyone deserves the opportunity to own a home and all of the wonderful things that go with it. So thank you, ladies, and Thinbad, we'll turn it over to you, sir.
All righty. Well, this has been informative, to say the least, and we could talk about this forever and ever, but we can't talk about this forever and ever because we got to let you all go sell some houses.
That's right.
But we've covered it all. As we said, the American dream is difficult enough, and this is a huge part of it in terms of buying a home. And all of any impediment or obstacle, there's enough obstacles, that we have to overcome to get to that place where we're able to do that. But buyers, you got to beware. You got to watch. You got to make sure what's going on. Make sure all your stuff is in order, and pay attention, though, to the signs that even though your stuff is in order, that there's some other things going on, something that may indicate an unwelcome match has been rolled out for you. As they just saying, as they say all over the radio, if you see something, say something.
There it is.
Absolutely.
And that applies to everything. That applies everywhere that you are, not just in the airport. But if you see something funky in your process, say something, and say something to your realtor. It's important that you got a realtor that you can trust. We had 2 here today with Trina Marie and Wyvitra. There are others out there, but those 2 are good. So we're letting you know, on East Coast and West Coast, we got you covered. We got you covered. There you go. But that's all the time that we've got. Again, we want to thank our guests. You all have been fantastic, and thank you to Chief and Beezy, who's on the way.
Yes, sir.
She may get there eventually. She may get there eventually.
Yes.
But as always, we want to thank you all for allowing us to give it to you straight. No chaser. Bye.
You've been listening to Straight No Chaser. So join us next week for more hot topics. And also, you can always catch us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and of course, iHeartRadio.
Buckle up, because Metro is bringing you the best deal in wireless. Switch to Metro and get your choice of 2 awesome free phones from top brands like Samsung and LG, with huge HD screens and tons of memory for all your pics and videos. So hurry into Metro and get your awesome free phones only at Metro. Plus sales tax and activation fee. Requires port-in of eligible number not currently active on T-Mobile network or active on Metro in past 90 days. Limit 4 per account or household. Restrictions apply. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Is your cell phone bill out of control? Then this is your wake-up call. The new TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited talk and text starting at $20 a month, no contract, plus unlimited carryover